Many generations have passed since your illustrious ancestor bravely defended the walls of Zhongzhou against the ruthless Xiongnu. Now, however, the supply of copper at Zhongzhou, so crucial for bronze casting, has been exhausted. Pan Gong, the new king, has thus decreed that the capital be relocated. After much searching, royal geomancers finally found a suitable location, and it shall be known as Yin. Fish the river, grow millet, wheat, and mulberry, and scour the hills for copper. Unfortunately, the area's clay is unsuited for kiln firing, creating a need to acquire both clay and ceramics through trade. Set aside a portion of the city for the elite class, who will doubtless appreciate luxurious silk, appetizing food, and acrobats. Decorative statues and wayside pavilions can now add a touch of beauty and grace to the city. Do not forget to develop a strong military arm, as not all cities bow to the Shang king. Paying heed to others' demands may appease them in the short term, but what does it say of the might of your city?
Welcome back to Emperor, Rise of the Middle Kingdom. And a few new elements here as we make the move to Yin. They mentioned the clay and ceramics. Having to import them, not having ceramics early on as a key startup industry to use for homage offerings and trade is going to add a little bit more of a wrinkle to building up the city. And then the acrobats will allow us to upgrade to the lavish Sahawan, second tier of the elite housing. Of course, we can also see we need to produce bronzeware, and we've got the population requirements there as well. So, as for the landscape of Yin itself, we've got this zigzagging road, and then we've got sort of river and rocks on both sides to a degree. Across here in the east is where we're going to be able to get the copper from, and we can actually, unlike Zhongzhou, we'll be able to cross the river with ferries to make all of that happen. Now, looking at the broader scenario, Yin is here, and the way they're presenting the history is like the majority view, but it's far from being unanimous. Pan Gong, according to the writings that we have found, most of them will say they moved the capital to Yin, but there are some that say no, the capital was somewhere north of the Yellow River. He moved it to Bo, and then it was in Yin later. But Yin is known as the final capital of the Shang dynasty. Pan Gong was either the 18th or 19th king in the Shang dynasty, and there are some records that he was very determined, that people did not want to move the capital to Yin initially. They were sick of moving, but that his determined leadership was able to eventually convince them to do it. So that's a little bit of a tidbit there. If we take a look at Yin itself, this is where we have discovered the oracle bones that we previously discussed, the earliest form of Chinese writing, a lot of other artifacts relating to the Shang dynasty. So a lot of what we know about this period of history in China was in fact discovered at Yin. It's quite an important location. We are 1 year into the establishment of the new capital at Yin. It is 1383, started in 1384. And I've done something a little bit unusual on this housing loop. I've talked about, this outside corner doesn't work very well for housing development, but I did it anyway. I've got a bunch of gardens around it, and they should do okay. Now, the reason I've done this is sort of just a way to cram everything in. I want the whole 1,500 people in one loop, and I couldn't find a better way to do it anywhere on the map. There's a lot of decent places, but no really good ones. You can see the rocks and the trees behind us there, and then trees blocking us off over here. There just was only so far that I really could push this. So that's where I'm going to leave it. And then moving down now, we've got the market, of course. The hemp shop is not being used yet because we don't have any. We weren't able to import it like we could at the beginning of the last scenario, but it's there ready when it's needed. We have the two farms here with both millet and wheat. The mill, and then the warehouse, usual arrangement. We've got one that is all of whatever, and we will go ahead and just restrict that more a little bit later. And then this is the food-only side. Now, the hemp farm up this direction, and then silk is going to be our cash cow for sure on this map. So I'm going to want to invest in that now and get that going. A couple of weavers here. And I really like this cove down here from an aesthetic point of view. From a point of view of making the fishing quays work very well, it's not so great. So I have 3 instead of but I normally have 2 for this population level. Because there's one fishing spot way down here, and you see nowhere nearby. Even up here doesn't work. And then another fishing spot over here, same problem. Like, I mean, over here, but how would we get there? So it just means they're going to travel a long distance to do their fishing. Hardworking fishermen in this particular case. Then we have the ferry, sampans going across the river, ferry over here. And I like this bronze area as well. There's enough room for everything, but it's fairly compact, you know, between the groves of trees and rocks on either side, etc. We got 3 of the smelters, 3 of the weaponsmiths, although we're really not going to need the weaponsmiths much. Because I actually plan on breaking this scenario and finishing it well ahead of the point where we would need the military. But we'll still set it up just to do it, and also just in case. Take a look, make sure that we have not made any errors in our setup, because the feng shui must be perfect, as always. Looking good. Green everywhere, green everywhere. How about housing? Green everywhere as well. We are happy. Excellent. So I'm going to roll on then, and get now our farming up. We're going to add on the silk, add on the hemp. In order to pay for that, we're going to need to knock off some of these. But I don't want to knock off all of them. So I'm going to just sort of micro it here. You know what? Let's get rid of one of you as well. So 1 bronze, 2 weapons. That's what we're going to leave up. And then while we're waiting on all of this, I want to extend what I have going on down here. Now if you look at the current level that we have in terms of cash, it looks quite good. And I'm going to want, let's see, we started out at almost 10,000 in cash. We really doing well on this map compared to previous scenarios where the money has felt a lot more tight. The 3rd weaver should be plenty, at least for this first year. Go ahead and throw you up there. Then I want to run this road down here, and eventually, what this is going to do is it's going to feed into our logging area down here by these trees. So that's in place. And while we're waiting for our first harvest to come in, this is actually going to be our first full wheat harvest. Because we got a partial one the first year. Then we can boost our food up to appetizing and all of those fun things. Of course, our big population boom waiting on the hemp, as it always is. Let's take a look at our trading partners. Because we started off with the ability to trade with Zhengzhou. Water route. I like using water routes. But they're not a great trading partner. They want to sell us ceramic, which is good, but they won't sell us the clay. You know, we have wood, wheat, and silk. And then we could sell bronze and hemp, not rice. I prefer not to sell the bronze. I know I prefer to refine it and then sell better things. So, just not a great option. The nomad camps were really mad at us even right away. So I think they're basically just foreshadowing that they're going to potentially be an enemy later on in the map, again. There are other options, you know, Baoji, Banpo is worth considering. Got ceramics and clay that we can buy for them, as we're going to want those. But we don't really want to sell them anything here. I mean, we could sell them a little bit of fish and wheat, but what, you know, it's not going to make a lot of money. Khufu, though, is by far the best. It's sort of like the perfect storm or Goldilocks city for this scenario. I'm a little surprised that they gave us as much money as they did and then gave us a great trading partner like this. But we want to buy the ceramics and clay. We could buy the jade and carve it. We're not going to do that, but we could. You know, it's always going to be a lucrative possibility. We're going to do the silk instead, and then everything that they want to buy, we want to sell them. Every single one. So it's virtually a perfect scenario. It's basically like a one-stop shopping center for our trading needs on this map. So I want to get the silk going and sell to them. I'm going to pump this in here, and I'm just going to say that we're going to get 4 silk. We're not going to want to store any ceramics or jade. Bronzeware, I don't think we're going to want. We'll leave it on accepting it, though. Accept weapons. Hemp. You know, you can take whatever on that for now. We're not going to want clay or jade or raw silks. Just send that all to the weavers. Bronze is okay. And we'll take some wood later, but not a lot. So we'll bump that down to 4. I'll have to adjust that a little bit more, but that's a better looking representation of what we're going to want. I think our first, like I know the wheat is July. We'll be getting some out of these soon though. Yeah, they keep saying the next harvest is in September, but they actually harvest them twice. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn on our weavers. And then shut down these. Let's see where that leaves us. 19? Okay, that means I can have one of these bronze back on. There we go. And now the silk is going to be coming our way. We'll begin getting that in place. And here comes the wheat harvest. Okay, and they were just buying some. They bought up some of the wheat. Let's get a little bit of a stash here. There we go. And now we'll bump this up to appetizing. They'll eventually need more. We're in no hurry on that particular aspect. The other part is, given the size of our population, this is going to be a map where 2 farms is too much, but 1 farm wouldn't be quite enough. So we're going to have a bunch of extra food, and by now I'm sure you know what we're going to do with it. We're going to throw it into our homage offerings. So we'll just start by throwing some of that at Shennong. Now everybody's into focusing on the millet. Hemp is coming along. And our silk process is continuing. Labor is still good. So once the hemp comes in, we will definitely have a lot more activity going. But at the moment, we just sort of have to wait for that to happen. And here it comes. I want to keep an eye on the silk, but I need 4 of it to give a reasonably decent gift. And actually, it's the smallest sized gift we can do on silk to Khufu. But there's our hemp being supplied, and then they will teleport it to our peddlers magically, as one does. And now those are building up. Excellent. So I'm going to knock off this bronze, so that we have enough people now for setting up the next phase of expansion, which means I need a music school. And the herbalist stall we'll put over here. And I actually may have room for another house, actually. Do I? I do. Just go ahead and throw that in place. It may not develop great there. Maybe it will, maybe it won't, but we'll throw it up anyway. Okay, we should be getting enough silk here now, I think. There it is, 4 of them. Khufu, have some silk. And hopefully that will be enough to win them over. Then as these people come in, I'm going to reactivate all of my bronze activities. And this time leave them on. I'm not going to, finagle any more with any of the labor in the agriculture sector. Now that we're growing, we should be able to support just turning things on. I do not. Yeah, we can turn on the rest of the weapons now. Turn on the rest of the weapons now. Where's that going to leave us? Still plenty. So let's begin logging. Indeed, it does need access to a road. Let's make that happen. And then, of course, I'm going to turn you on to inspect it. And there's some silk waiting here. I do think now it's been long enough. We'll send the trade request. And cash down a little over 1,000, so I want to start being a bit careful here, but I think I have enough to get some taxes going and help us out. Administrative city here. I'll get inspected right along that way. Should be off by much. No, it's not. People are flocking in. Khufu appreciates the silks, and now we're just waiting for the trade approval. Put tax office here. Now, I would normally put it like down in this way somewhere, but the feng shui over there is not harmonious, so I had to sort of move it up along the side. It'll have a little bit too much of a negative effect, but we will tolerate however that works. Once they bring wood over there, we should be okay. 700 now. We're going to need to build that trading station once we hear back from Khufu, assuming we get their approval. So I do want to wait here and just put a freeze on all of our spending. Yeah, drop that down. Drop taxes down to match it, but try to limit our expenses. Still losing money because we don't have any wood at the tax office. But it just came in here, so hopefully they'll send it up there before too much longer. Lost about another 80 coin that month, so we're definitely headed in the wrong direction. There's our trade agreement. Excellent. Okay. I'm going to throw up our trading station right here. 232. Yikes. Alright. So what we're going to do is just sell things now. We don't have any bronzeware, but we'll sell what we have. We're going to sell whatever extra hemp and sell whatever extra wood. So let's make sure that we're set up here. We're going to hold on to 4 wood. We're going to hold on to 8 hemp. We'll need more for the elite housing later on. I'm not going to buy any ceramics or clay yet because of where our cash is. What we need is for them to buy a bunch of silk and for our taxes to start coming in. And they still have not brought our wood over. And I've been noticing this happens occasionally lately. There'll just be a product that they don't want to move. I think it's just a small bug. But they eventually seem to want to do it. It just takes some time. Either that or it's due to, like, there's can only be so many carts in the city or something. If I get, like, large beyond a certain point, maybe there's only so many they can move around. I don't know how the internals of the engine really work on that. But in any case, the taxing is now up, so that should help us stop losing money. At least not lose as much. And we've got some silk here. And the trader walks right by like it's not even there. Here comes another trader. There they go. They're buying up our silk. Look at that. Now that is a beautiful thing. Now we've got some cash to deal with. So now we're going to bring in clay and ceramics. And I'm actually going to go all the way up to 8 on the ceramics, 4 on the clay. And we do want... see, where's our labor? Yeah, we got plenty. We want a ceramic shop. Let's make sure we're actually at the point where the people want ceramics. Yes, appeal to the neighborhood due to the tax office. They do want ceramics, though. Okay. Good. That means we've taken care of all the other needs. And once those start coming in, we'll be set there. Now we're going to need the clay to help us with a bronzeware operation. So we're at 30. Although, actually, before I do that, we are going to jack up taxes and wage rate. We're going to finish our government job, which is to add a palace. So high unemployment for the moment, but that will go away shortly. Okay, that will work for your inspector. There we go. Now we are down to 39, so that's a little bit more manageable. Bronzeware maker, our only workshop available on this map. Can't fit there. Let's try one there. This works. And this works. Sure. It says we don't have quite enough storage space. Postpone. I think we can just fit that in here for the brief time being. And we're just going to sell it right away. Baoji wants to give us bronzeware, and we're just going to turn around and sell it to Khufu, which is probably not what they wanted to do with it, but what we're going to do with it anyway. So our requirement for 10 bronzeware per turn, or in a year, rather. 3 is enough for that. We're producing enough bronze to supply all these and the weapons and have a slight bit extra. So I'd actually like to put up a 4th bronzeware. But there really isn't anywhere over here. Well, I guess I could put it over here. But I don't know that I can actually get a road there. Okay, we will now accept it. Thank you very much. I think we should just try to throw it somewhere on this side. Yeah, right there. Works great. Okay, good. Bronzeware it is. And I think, yeah, that's going to hit us on the worker side. So I will actually turn one of those off for the time being. Now we're going to sell this bronzeware. Down under 1,000 again. Let's wait for some more cash to flow in. And more people are coming. Says they need access to an acrobat before the house can evolve. The thing about it is, they would actually still need the acupuncturist, and we do not have access to the acupuncturist. We have not yet reached that point. So, we are once again at a situation where elegant dwelling is as good as it's going to get. We're still bringing more people, though, and we're approaching our mark. We should hit it comfortably. Have enough labor now? We will turn you on. I do not. Well, actually, no. I think I'll do it. I mean, that's hitting the cash a bit. We have plenty of food, although they took all our fish. So it's going to be a bit before we can resupply with fish. If they take one of the others, it would have been much happier. Where's our food at over here? Not that much. Okay, so we definitely need that fish to come in. We have a couple loads that are coming in now. There they go. That should get there soon enough to not be a problem. But that was probably a bit of a risky decision. Look at all of our people. Okay, we gotta lower this down again. Although actually, I should just use it in a bit here. Yeah, our cash is back up now. Okay. Cash is back up. We have food. Now we're going to start throwing in the military. So I will go ahead and grab some forts. I like this spot right down here for one. I can put one on the other side of the city. Well, that's not connected very much, but it'd be connected enough. There's nothing else going on over here anyway. And we still have plenty of people. Now, I do want to say that we want to get rid of these weapons now. Just say don't accept anymore and they'll gradually grab them. The hemp is looking good. We shouldn't need to have any bronze in this anymore. Should just need the wood and the hemp. Shouldn't need bronze ware either, but we can... No, we'll just turn that off. And we have the silk. Okay. So that should gradually empty itself. And we shouldn't need the bronze ware over here either. Outstanding. So now we need to work on our elite housing area. And I'm going to need to turn the view a bit. Just sort of really be able to get into this area. Okay. So I'm going to bring it up this way. And across this way. And then let's remove that blocker. And this needs to be open to market employees only. We'll have another blocker here. Cut that off. And let's see, over here. Again, market employees only. Okay.
Confucius says, he who keeps the old akimbo and adds new knowledge is fit to be a teacher.
So, I'm going to want to be a little bit cautious here.
He who keeps the old akimbo and adds new knowledge is fit to be a teacher.
One thing I'm very good at is getting these elite areas set up and not having the inspector up in time, and then everything breaks out in a fire. So I'd like to not do that.
Confucius says, he who keeps
Bring you over like this.
and adds new knowledge is
And we're bringing so much cash that I really don't even have to be too particularly careful. I can just throw it out. Now let's see. Houses will extend over to there. Which means our road needs to extend over to here. Okay, and I'm actually going to remove these gardens now. should have plenty of everything. Let's make sure we get that inspector up. There we go. We should walk around in a circle and everybody should be happy, so we can leave that as it's going to be. Then we can get our housing up and move everything else in. Oh, we don't have enough hemp. Okay, we'll wait for more of that. Now, we do have the new statues, though. Sculptures, excuse me. Soldier, sculpture, female, scholar, and noble. And so let's see if we... The thing is, these are finicky with their feng shui. And it just so happens where I have my gardens that they're not going to work. So I will simply wait for the next time to put them up. I mean, I'll put them up where I can. Maybe we can try around the edges. Okay, there are some spots. These, of course, boost your desirability as well. But I'll throw these up just to have them. Okay. You will accept this location. And I believe these can be rotated as well. Yep. So if we don't like the way they're looking, we just turn them. But you kind of don't want... Oh, you're willing to discuss a placement over here, are you? And you can see, just having the one nearby boosted this up, along with the Grand Way, so... Yeah. So all of that is set and in place. I don't know if we have any more hemp yet. We do. Okay, that can go in place. Now let's get everything else we need for this area. What are we doing labor-wise? We're fine. Okay, so we're going to put up a shrine. I don't want it on that road, actually. Sure, that'll work. We're going to need an herbalist. There we go. And I'm probably going to forget some of what we need, but I also know that we need an acrobat to serve this area. And that gets a little more complicated. Because there's nowhere around here that's particularly great feng shui for our acrobat. So we're going to kind of have to throw it over here by these rocks. And then I'm going to need a dedicated inspector just for that. And then we'll just run the road across here. Road block it off. There we are. Okay, you say you want music in order to evolve. You should be able to get your music. Because this is open. Let's make sure it is. That's open to market. So is this, so we should eventually get a music walker over this way. We ran out of food. Hold on. We're still having trouble with fish. Here comes another group back, but I'm concerned about that. I'm actually going to drop this down for the moment to plane. I need you to be able to distribute food. I gotta wait for that to catch back up. Okay, so we're going to throw some more homage offerings as well. We got tons of money. Money is not a problem. I just need to get caught back up on the food here. I mean, I could throw up another fishing key just to make sure everything's okay. I think I should probably do that. This would work. And then I could just... Need more workers. Really? Do I have people leaving? We do have people leaving.
Confucius says, "He who keeps
Not a lot of them, though.
a Kindle and adds new knowledge is fit to
Okay.
be a teacher."
We can afford it. We're just going to boost up labor. Boost up the wage rate. But yeah, I think I want to put another fishing key down here. I just want to make sure that we have enough. And here's our first demand. Khufu is going to say that they want bronze, and we're going to tell them to take a hike. Now you can cut this off here. And we'll just extend what you're doing just a bit. I think you can cover both of these. We're going to find out. Although, actually, let's just double up and make sure. Yeah, we'll just do this. We may not need to do it. But by throwing these in, I'll make absolutely for sure everything is covered. Okay. You can see our fort's doing quite well. And then we are going to need a silk shop. And the point of all this being to upgrade to the next level here. Can't make improvements until they receive some silk. I think they've got the rest.
I hate working in the family business. Maybe I should just run off and become an acrobat.
I'm in a hurry to get this silk back to the market. It looks like it might rain this afternoon.
Yeah. I'm glad you're in a hurry, because I want that silk coming over here.
Confucius says, "He who keeps the old
Oh, yes, I am a yak-brained fool, am I not?
is fit to be
Okay, but now we're going to upgrade these. And what do they say? Tasty food. And they would also, I believe, need acupuncturists to boost up the next level. Now, I could build more forts at this point. But if I was going to build more forts to knock off, winning the rest of the map, like, why would I even bother doing that when this is my final objective? But eventually what will happen is the nomad camps will make demands for, I believe, silk. And, you tick them off by not acceding to their demands. Them and Khufu. Khufu might cancel your trade, so you might want to trade with somebody else. And they'll both come in and attack. But we are not interested in messing around with that. We're just going to throw people in to these lavish Sahewans and call it a day. And of course, to do this properly, even though I don't really need it, I should put a tax office over here. Can we afford dropping this down now? Yes, we can. We have 37 out of the 40 people. So we're almost there. And of course, cash is no issue. Our one trading partner with Khufu is working great.
A masterful job. A bustling city now grows where once only songbirds were heard. It is now time, however, to turn our attention to the south, along the banks of the Yangtze River.
Excellent. So that was a move to Yin, and we will indeed be going much further south than any of the current cities on the map are showing us when Emperor returns. Thanks for watching, everyone.